Oh shit. Hold up. This is how I'm spending my day in nature, doing some walking. Hey, because really today for me it's just another. I don't really. I don't take away from people who celebrate today, but I haven't celebrated this day in a very long time. So to me, this is just a normal day. I talk with my ancestors every day. I tap in, hey, I'm in nature and it's like a lot of activity over here. Y'all gotta ask me these questions when I'm still. I already talked about takeoff in the last video. I'm not gonna keep repeating and saying certain things. I'm just kind of chilling out right now, doing some walking in nature. Oh, Leezy Wink, child, my God. Well, it's some shooting going on in Virginia, ain't it? Cause didn't y'all just have three young brothers get soul swapped to the body of three college? Listen, yeah, I don't want to go there. Y'all got me talking about real deep stuff right now. I'm just really thank you for the compliments. Girl, these braids. I need to take them down when they come. Well, I need to take these braids out. Wavy. I braid them so when I take it loose, my hair be wavy. But you know what it is. Janae, thank you. I did. I lost almost 100 pounds. And then when I got rid of that abusive ass man boy, that was 250 right there. So what, 350? 350? 355? I was like two something. And I was like already two something. 250. So I was actually going toward like 260. But I did not realize that my body was holding on to all of that weight as a mechanism to protect me. And it wasn't just because I was not secure in like sensuality. I didn't view myself or see myself as a sensual person, as a sexual person. somebody who was attractive. Hi, oh, my baby butterflies. Um, see, I love butterfly too. Can I actually turn? Yeah, I think I can. Let's see. I've seen her land. I just can't remember where I've seen her. Oh, there she goes. There she goes. There she goes again. Let me see. Where you at, mamas? There you go. Look at her. Sweetie. I just hey y'all, I hope everybody's doing fine. Well, good. I'm on for everybody who may be with family right now, but you're bored. You may be with yourself. You may feel like the eyeball out because you don't celebrate this day. Or some of you don't acknowledge it. Some of you acknowledge it as Indigenous Day. I don't care. I really don't. As long as y'all doing whatever y'all need to be doing in love, I really don't care at this point. There's so many things to harp on that can keep us separated and keep us not tuned in with each other instead of saying, let's come together under the umbrella of love and let's just figure out how we're going to conquer the necessary things first. And then all the little minute things we'll deal with later. And to me, people can make something like holidays or holy days huge issues when for me personally, they're bigger issues that needs to be dealt with, right? So to me, this is extremely minute compared to what we all, as a whole, as humanity, is looking at. Y'all just let me know at any given time if y'all cannot hear me. Let me know because I might end up having to turn this headset off. I forgot. Hey. So yeah, what I did, y'all, Janae, I'm gonna be honest with you. The way that I got rid of this weight, if if I can be extremely real, I stopped stressing. I eliminated every factor of stress as much as I could in my life. Um, Again, that was getting out of the abusive relationship that I was in. And that wasn't just physically abusive. That was one. Is that a hawk? Bro, y'all, I promise you, God love me. Oh, God love me. I'm always getting like the cutest smiles and kisses from the universe through nature, I swear. Whew, okay. Yeah, so I didn't do a diet. I changed the way that I ate. I cut out sugars. That was one of the first things that I did. I cut out sugars, and then I realized that I could think clear. My mind was more clear. My thought processes were more clear. I didn't feel. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I feel like when you do have parasites in your body, and unfortunately, a lot of these parasites are man-made. This is where you get your modified foods from, right? So, what I believe is that they modify the foods genetically to stick to your body on the insides to change the way that you think, to keep you eating at a low vibrational rate. So, when I cut out sugar and I cut out pastas, I cut out breads, and I'm gonna tell y'all what my fight was. I did the best I could to cut out as much cheese as possible. My fight was never really breads. I was always a bread girl when I was a kid. I was always like a different type of child. Oh wow, this is gorgeous. What did I do to deserve? Oh wow. And you gonna land right in front of me, huh? Y'all should see this beautiful stork looking bird landing right in front. Hi, baby. Blue heron. That's what it is. Blue heron. One, two, three, four. I'm telling you, man. I know God love me. Can't nobody tell me God don't love me. I'm always at how beautiful the bayou gets. Like every time I come, and I love water. So anyway, I didn't. I cut out as much stuff that I felt was detrimental to my growth spiritually. I knew I needed to change the way that I ate. I didn't have a problem eating living foods. I had to train my taste buds how to eat without manipulating the taste. You know, how to eat greens without putting a bunch of seasoned salt in there. Or, making sure that I could like train my mind to eat something plain if I needed to, and be able to be okay with that if I so choose, or needed to, because I knew eventually I was going to come back to the South. And if anybody knows, that's very, it can get hard for you to eat right in the South if you do not, if you're the type of person that is easily swayed by really good food. You know how it is. I'm telling y'all. So I've maintained this for about a year now. I was always eating healthy. I just was not making it a staple, if I could just be honest. And so I really did have to change a lot. But my main thing was I changed my intake of cheese. That was my real fight. Cheese has there's receptors in cheese that acts just like crack to the body, and I had to come up off it because I noticed that I would sweat more. My sweat glands, you know, to be honest with y'all, like my armpits would stink more, or it was easier for my armpits to just be foul as hell, like just on foul mode. And I had to realize it was the shit I was putting in. I'm sorry, y'all. It was the stuff that I was putting in my body, and I noticed that cheese had a lot to do with that. And it was because I was eating. And let me just say this, because I'm not trying to knock nobody. I do believe you can eat what you want in moderation. I think anything in excess can get too bad for you after a while. Too much vitamin C will start being a detriment to the body. Even too much water can carry to the brain, and if you're not peeing at the same rate you intaking, you can literally drown from the inside out. There's been, it's rare, but it happens, so you have to be very careful about intake and outtake. But what I was having a hard time not grasping, but implementing, because it just simply was not on my mind, was I needed to detox, and I was not detoxing because I was always on the go. All the bills were in my name. I had to do everything. I had to carry the load. For the last 5 years, I've been in man mode. I don't know what it feels like to be still. I can get my nails done, but I'm not resting. Like I'm in keep going mode type of thing. And so spa date, I it's been, I can't tell y'all how long it's been since I sat in somebody's salon chair. It's been me myself, since I've been in cosmetology school, and I was 20. I think I was 20, 19 or 20. Yeah, I was like 19 or 20. So I'm in my 30s. It's been more. It's been over 50. It's been over 10 years. So I don't know what it means to truly rest, like that. But it's okay. I'm gonna get there. I'm getting there because I'm working on myself every day. I'm working on myself every day. So cheese was my fight. That was my huge fight. I'm happy with myself every time I look at a big ass piece of pizza Like I ain't gonna lie, I be feeling like the devil be resting on people. Like my mama, she came in the house the other day with this big ass cheese pizza, and I smelled something in the oven, but I'm like, I got this 50-50 spring mix, and I be mixing stuff up to make my own dressing sometimes, or I mix something with a dressing, you know. And I go in there, and she take that shit. I was like, Lord God, look at this thing. Yeah, I was like, this is not fair. I looked at that thing. I was like, devil, ain't gonna get me today. I ain't scared to eat. It's just you have to know your cues too, Janae. That's another thing. I was an emotional eater. I was a snacker. Like my thing was I was a snacker, but my body held on to every single thing that I ate because I was in flight or fight mode. I stayed in survival mode. So I didn't have enough time to go and work out. I didn't have enough time. Like I was working in the daytime, and then at night I was gigging and singing, and just doing low traveling, and it was a lot. It was a lot, and I used that as a mechanism to ignore the dynamite that was lit in my marriage. But of course, eventually everything has a time frame on it, and so when it blew up, I was the tower car, and thus I am here. So that was another thing. I had to train my emotions. Stop eating emotionally. Every time I was going through some shit, I didn't have an outlet. My ass went to food. Especially, when you raised, in traditional, with traditional Christian values. Even though I grew up spiritualist, we still hopped from, certain churches just as a means to belong, and that never really worked. But my mom did instill traditional Christian values, and of course, everything is off limits except food. And this is why you have a majority of your church people are obese because they are not willing to recognize food as a drug. You understand? So it's gonna be hard for a lot of people to lock down emotional eating if you're gonna always be lying to yourself. And if you stop lying to yourself and you tell yourself, you got issues, you got problems within yourself and your body and your mind and your soul and your heart and your spirit, you may not love yourself the way you should. There's some childhood things that you need. Hey, fishy. There's some childhood things that that you need to heal, that you need to be working on in order for you to be a better you for you, so you can do right by you on a daily basis, moment to moment. Until you recognize what your kryptonite is, you're not gonna be able to get immune to it. Because the thing about it, it's not getting rid of the kryptonite that's gonna help you. It's gaining an immunity. You have to literally switch things within yourself to create a new DNA chain link, right? Like you have the double helix. For me, I changed that. I've literally went into my own helix and changed things around, or unlocked things, or awake, like made things become awakened, that kind of thing. You need food to survive, of course. I've heard of these breatharians, or however you call them, or suntarians. They eat and breathe off the sun and the air. Okay, God bless you. I'm gonna eat. I ain't got nothing against them people, but yeah, you can keep that shit over there. Bless you. We can come together and meditate and pascalate and percolate and all of the lates. But when it come to my food, I ain't gonna be late. Okay, we gonna eat. I'm just saying. So I literally lost. I can't even tell you how much I weigh right now, y'all. If I told you, I would be lying, because I have not gotten on the scale in a minute. But the last time I checked, I was in the one somethings, the lower one somethings, mid one somethings, right where around where my target was, but I think I'm a little lower, which I don't. That doesn't bother me, cause eventually when you have an idea for yourself, you're gonna start resistance training or weight training or growing muscle, whatever, whatever. There's some things that I want to do. I'm just waiting um, till I get into physically a better space. So yeah. Hopefully that helps somebody. Cause, child, let me tell you something. And I love cooking. I still be cooking. I still cook. You can't get me not to cook. I still cook, but because I'm in transitioning right now from having my own place to um, realigning myself. Okay, and that's another thing, y'all. For some of us who do have the help, when you going through shit, especially something that could have taken your life. If you gotta go back with family or reset somewhere, don't beat yourself up. It's a bunch of people out here that's pointing fingers and saying, "Ha ha, you ain't got your shit together. You back at your parents, or you back at here. You over here. You ain't living by yourself. You ain't got your own shit." Man, life happens. You hear me? Life happens. I did not want to come back to this motherfucker. I promise you, I did not. I had to. Spiritual means and different other things. Otherwise, I had to get me together. I got a home field advantage being here. You understand? And when I look at it now that I've been working on myself, no matter where I'm at in the world, I got a home field advantage. My feet is on the earth. The earth is my home field advantage. I'm her, she is me. So, I will always be cared for. I will always be loved on. I will always be protected and provided for. I had to realize this, instead of, again, when you dealing with trauma, when you dealing with trauma, honey, but that trauma will get on that ass. You hear me? You got to be willing to do the work to get it up out your system, get it up out your DNA. Especially for those of you who do not have kids, man, y'all got a great advantage right now to do as much healing as y'all can. If y'all really want children, if you want to come together with a significant other and have a family one day, do as much healing as you possibly can, because by the time you start having babies, you ain't genetically passing that shit to your babies. Your literal bloodline wouldn't have it would be distorted. It would be beautifully aligned to serve your children to their highest good while they're forming in their mother's womb. You understand? Because a lot of us get those traumas before we even take our first breath. And a lot of our parents did not want to do the work because they just didn't want to simply acknowledge that they needed to. A lot of our parents had to put their heads down and live the best they could. They did the best they could with what they had. Some of them had ego trips. They seen what they needed to work on and chose not to. But I mean, I could tell you all day long what my parents did do right. But then now it's like, okay, what is that? What does that do after proving whatever I'm saying is correct? But still, what does that do for me? You know, I have to acknowledge what's going on, what didn't happen, what didn't went on, and I have to acknowledge the fact that if I really want to fix it, and that's what I'm doing. I'm fixing my lineage across all space and time, past, present, and future, by fixing me, because I'm the link, I'm the key, and yeah, I was just a little rusted. Just put myself in some solution, polish myself up a bit. I still work, unlocking doors one moment at a time. Tell me, y'all. Y'all want to see a fake kingdom for real? I'm in a real live fairy house. Yeah, and so sometimes people are gonna make you feel like, cause you ain't got your shit together, you ain't got something together, you ain't doing this, you ain't doing that. Like, man, shit happens, bro, and it happens to the best of us. You got them same people who gonna say that to you. They don't even like where they live. They don't like who they sleeping next to. If they got kids, most of them don't even like their kids, cause they don't like themselves. You better stop comparing yourself to other people. Stop comparing yourself to other people. Make sure you got your shit straight. Oh, y'all, listen. You got to really look when you in nature out here, cause shit be camouflaging. Like, oh, look at that beautiful rock and this alligator. You wouldn't go over there and sit on that rock next to you, that head pop up. Oh hell no. we got different kind of nature out here in this motherfucker. This is interesting. Ooh. Okay, so let me see what y'all talking about. Yeah. And then find out what works for you too, Janae, and whoever else wanted that advice. Cause um, I'm gonna be real with you. Keto had came across my desk years ago, but I did not. It wasn't something that I was looking to get into. I heard about it, but then what turned me off was I heard about keto fever. Um, I heard about paleo. I heard about different things. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I started off doing keto. Now I do what's best for me. Really? I do what's best for me. Come on, y'all. I drink a lot of water. I don't play. I do a lot of water. I take care of my skin. Y'all, when women have kids, I don't know what kind of DNA y'all got, but um, my neck has always been a little darker than my face, even when I was a kid. And I always wondered what was that. And people say a liver splash, but it was never that because I know what liver splashes is. I've never had those kind of issues. But I did have hyperpigmentation. My father nickname when he was living was Blue. So on my father's side, I was always called Lil Blue. No one ever called me by my first name. On my mama's side, on my daddy's side, I was always Lil Blue on my daddy's side because they used to tell me that I was his mini me. But the older I got, the more I started looking like my mama. But anyway, uh oh. on, give me a second. So, I did get a download that I was gonna get a visit, and I was gonna get a visit. Um, I don't know if I'm at liberty to tell y'all what kind of visit, but I feel like something is here. I just kind of felt like this presence pop up just now. Something not small. Okay, I'm not scared of nothing. It's just it's interesting. I don't think people understand how Louisiana is very vortexy. Okay, real quick sidebar conversation. I always knew something was wrong with the maps and the way they taught history. I could never put my finger on it till I got older. I started doing research for myself. And this is a sidebar conversation. I'm gonna get back to what I was saying, but I remember when I went to Sedona when I first moved to Arizona, and I was brought there by two people who I thought were my friends. These were two people who ended up being involved in a coven that eventually tried to harm me in more than one ways, in more than one way. Anyway, long story short, they took me there, and you know if you've ever been to Sedona, you can feel there's some things there you can feel, and it's undeniable that Sedona has a lot of cosmic spiritual significance there, but I never fell into the hype of it because I felt like it was a unfortunately what my spiritual senses showed me was that it was spiritually raped and convoluted. The cosmic highway that it used to be, I don't believe that it is that no longer. I do believe there's spiritual implications there. There's spiritual things that still happen there, but it's not used for a pure. It's not used for as much of a pure space as it could be, what it used to be. So when I got there, I would see certain parts in Sedona where things was going in a spiral, right? And of course, they tell you those are vortexes and different things like that. But I also want to let y'all know those are implications of energy portals or landings, okay? Doesn't have to necessarily be, when people say vortex, they think of something like some spiritual energy. I don't know, like, I know, I know the definition of a vortex is that, but when people say it, they don't comprehend it as what it's supposed to mean. They just say it as a means to say something, to put a spiritual attachment to it, but they really don't. They don't. Their mind, the teeth of their mind, doesn't really chew on what it actually means to say this is a vortex. It's a portal. It's a gateway, right? So I've been noticing lately in Louisiana how vortexy, if I can use that for splicing words here, how many places in Louisiana has vortexes, and not just necessarily from above but below. It's a lot of sandalphon, crystalline grid energy here in nature, and the trees were talking to me the other day. And people who gon' watch this and they go, "Wow, here she go with this shit." Yes, here I go, and I'm going, and it just is what it is. You want to get on this train? You got your ticket. Come on. Uh, it's funny how it's a lot of underground energy here that has shown itself on the top of the surface here, especially in the south. Trees were speaking to me the other day, especially yesterday, and I was passing through a certain place, and I heard the older trees there begin to weep. They started crying, and when I asked what was going on, and they said they did not want to participate in the hangings of our people. They made us part. I kid y'all no lie. This is what I got. And I'm driving. I'm minding my business. This was not on my mind. Okay, mind you, I'm passing through ancestral land, my father's side ancestral land, and I heard clear as day. They made us. This is what the trees told me. They made us participate in the hangings of our people. And they were telling me how they held a lot of trauma. And this is why when certain trees get a certain age, they begin to rot from the inside out. When some of these trees were once people who took oaths to keep certain secrets. And those who had children who were either taught or were spiritually given gifts to speak to nature while in nature, nature angels. They would get these downloads and they would be able to pass certain information from generation to generation because of the whispering of the trees. And I was just kind of really hurt. I had to start crying because my feelings was hurt. It was like they made us participate in the hanging of our people. And I just was like, wow. You know, these people are so vicious, they don't consider that you are hanging living people on living things that has a soul, that has a body, that has a mind. You know, people say, well, it's a tree, it doesn't walk. Well, it's living. It sheds skin like you do. And it grows back its skin and leaves and branches like you do. It has roots like you got roots. I said, well, what roots? Okay, your hair has roots, doesn't it? Follicles. Your teeth has a root. Each one of your teeth has roots. You know, we're very much so like trees. The shadow side of a tree is the root. When you turn it upside down, it looks like a barren tree from the root. You know, same thing. You put us in front of a mirror, what's reflecting back is the shadow side. And how you know you are making peace with your shadow side. Because to heal your shadow side is to actually make peace with it. It's not to, your healing journey is to not get rid of what's dark within you. It's to integrate and make peace so that you can cause harmony. Okay? That's the yin yang energy. There is no such thing as getting rid of your shadow side. A shadow side serves a purpose, just like your ego. You want to make sure one is not overbalanced than the other. You want to make sure that you nurture it. Your shadow side may be the very thing that you may need to back a motherfucker up off you. You feel me? I'm just saying that. Because you heard it here first. I stay machete ready. I gotta say, shout out to my daddy side, because that's my motto. Stay machete ready. That's mine. So if somebody try to copyright that, you in trouble. Stay machete ready. So, you know, you're not going to totally 100% be healed, though, beloved Anubai. You're not going to 100% be healed, right? You're not going to 100% be healed. There is a such thing as you can be in a relationship and still heal. It's about you not getting comfortable, you know, to the degree where you stop doing work because you feel like, oh, I'm comfortable right here. That person may be in your life as a means to test you to see how much further you can keep going. I'm gonna be real with you. Being a Libra, I don't think I'll ever not like love. I think because I believe in, and I'm always believe in love, and not just relationships between two lovers. I believe in love as a whole, for everybody to experience friendship between parents and children, between friends, between pets, and whatever. Nature itself, everything was born from love. There is nothing that exists on this earth that was not born from love. The only thing that can be taught is the negative of that, which is fear. It's not hatred. Hatred is a taught emotion. Fear is an entity that creates other emotions out of the void of understanding. You don't understand something, you fear it. So power, love, and a sound mind is, yeah. So anyway, that's kind of, you don't want to, don't, I won't say, you're going to know when you want to be able to go forth and have children anew. I'm not going to say, I'm not going to tell you when you are your own person, but I will say don't give up hope. Um, we all got our points where the universe, especially if you are searching for love, you want love, the universe will allow you to climb up a certain ladder by yourself and then insert love. Boom. You know, and go from there. But we still all have the power of choice. You know, if a person is willing to love you unconditionally, I used to think that unconditional love did not exist. Get away. I'm starting to see that maybe it does. I don't know. Something exists where don't nothing else matter but that. I don't know if I have truly experienced that, but I do believe something pure exists in a form called love, and I do believe we all have the ability to tap into it. Again, it's all about what we want for ourselves, how we want it. Love does not always necessarily have to end in relationships. You know, it doesn't. Sometimes God will align you with a relationship to prove to you that you can love yourself and somebody else. Or um, sometimes people walk around here thinking that they're so unlovable that they get comfortable with being by themselves, and God will insert someone to show them that you're lovable beyond yourself. I don't know. But, if you do want children and you want to have them the traditional way, which means you laying on top of somebody getting it on top of you, however you want. you know, if you believe in having kids the traditional way, then just continue to keep doing you. And when it's time, it'll align. I will say this, don't. I can tell you firsthand, being a woman who grew up with a bunch of daddy issues, I do believe that it's true. You will attract your daddy's energy until you heal. God bless you if you had a beautiful daddy and all you could attract was men who treated you like a princess. Oh, that's so beautiful. God bless you. But if you are a woman like me, I had to do a lot of healing because your daddy was shit. Just be real. That's my truth. It's my truth. I'm not being disrespectful. It's truthful. You know, had a mama with toxic ass traits, and you had a daddy who was narcissistic. You know, gaslighting mama, narcissistic daddy. You you tend to you can either be like them or you become a supply. You know, and those who you become a supply for, they're gonna always have a demand. And unfortunately, well, fortunately for me, I ended up being the latter of the two. I'm not saying that I'm perfect Patty. You know, of course, I have exhibited toxic traits before. Who hasn't? The difference between me and the people that I know was I was willing to call my own shit out, deal with it, and clean it up. Because I don't believe in letting your head where you shit. In other words, I smelt mine. I was willing to clean it up. I watched too many people sit in it and act like it don't stink. And I just was not willing to live my life like that. And because I had kids when I was young. And I was a young mom. I had my daughter when I was 18, my firstborn. So she's 18 now. And uh, yeah, maybe I just told my age. I don't know. I don't care though. I know I don't look it. I look I look young. It sound like I heard somebody say, go ahead, baby. Y'all these little Cajun people, there's a trip. Them little white from say people. Y'all. I But yeah, just don't try to rush nothing. Don't even try to rush your healing. Child, cause if today all you could do was show up, get up and barely wash your face and your ass, baby, you did what you was supposed to do. Tomorrow, try to regain your focus and regain your strength. You know, sometimes just getting up is enough. Sometimes that depression hits you, you kind of just gotta do what you gotta do to survive. It's not your fault, man. We all are navigating our way through what some call a prison. I choose to call this a classroom. Some of us are in the same some of us are in the same class. Some of us got the same teacher. But the way that we're comprehending what's being written on the board is showing you who is in college, who is in high school, who is in middle school, and who is in elementary. See, that's the thing. You could look around you and see everybody there. Don't mean don't mean y'all on the same level. Somebody can be in grade 2 while you in grade 4, and this person is a sophomore in high school, and this person is a freshman in college. And you never know. You could be sitting on side of a professor. You don't even know it. It's not about you paying attention to where the other person is. It's about you utilizing your space around you while you're learning for yourself. You know what I'm saying? I hope I'm making sense here. Yeah. But I'm just chilling with the nature folk and the sky people. I'm definitely not here alone by myself. I've been feeling a bit bodyguardish lately. I don't know why. I don't know. Uh-huh. You said plant-based because it was easier for you to dodge the things that were trapping you. Your gut got into protective mode. Child, you got two minds. One up here and the other one is in your gut. That's why even when you're meditating, the lower three chakras is, if you really want to align your gut health, not just eating like I used to have a natural habit that I did not know was actually good for the body. As a kid, I did everything right and didn't know it. I would eat sour shit early in the morning. I still to this day eat lemons like it's apples. I don't have any nipple issue. I don't have, it's just, I like sour stuff. Um, I put apple cider vinegar on some cucumbers quick and eat it like that. A little salt, pepper, keep it moving. Like eating those type of things, and I do believe the color of your foods do match with certain chakras, energy portals within the body. Um, I also do believe purple. I do believe purple, green, and blue foods, naturally blue foods, do help with eye health. I know a lot of people say carrots, but I believe that dealing with the crown chakra helps with your eyesight because sometimes your inner sight will reflect your outer sight. Okay? Again, it depends on what level. It's not always. Sometimes God will keep you sheltered from things that are being sent towards you. It's not everything happens because it's your fault. Sometimes people just hate. They'll be sending you bad juju, that kind of stuff. Fuck the moles. I don't care. But it's just I don't I believe in eating living foods. I don't knock nobody, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody who is spiritual, man, is called. If tomorrow I rise up and God tell me eat a slab of beef, I'm eating that slab of beef. I'm gonna tell y'all because you don't know what spiritual fight may lie ahead. And I remember when I was a little kid, we was training for spiritual warfare. Remember, I think I told y'all some lives ago. I grew up learning spiritual warfare, right? So I had family members that we had this group called David and Company. I was trained from a little kid how to what they call round up devils. Literally, people would be convulsing and they would tell you, get the babies out, put the babies in another room. That kind of, you know what I'm saying? That's what I grew up in. I grew up learning how to, spiritual warfare. So, well, from a Christian's perspective, I learned spiritual warfare. And I see it's about to rain. Um, I will never forget after we were done with a session, I remember hearing this lady tell us, listen to your body when it tells you what to eat, because that may be the thing that you may need to put in your body. From the fact that when you're in warfare, sometimes your body is depleted of certain energies and minerals or certain things that may be found in meat. And I was young when I heard that, and I was like, you know what? I think that shit is true. And then it wasn't until last year or earlier this year that I grabbed them pork skins. I think y'all remember that conversation we had on the live recently when I talked to y'all about pork skins, and I was like, yeah, I think this shit for real. I was like, yeah, So, though I am plant-based more than anything, uh, I'll do what I need to do. I listen to my body. You know what I'm saying? That's why I tell people it's a lifestyle. Don't you can get caught up in all this diet shit, lifestyle shit, and all this other shit. That don't matter. Can't nobody tell you how to do you when it comes to your body except you. You have built-in receptors in your body that's gonna tell you how to do right by your body for that moment and that time. Let me tell you something. You don't know if God may have you eat something that will bring your vibration down a bit just to have you infiltrate a place. Because sometimes if you vibrating so high and you this beacon of light and you about to be sent to this dark ass place, he like, I just need you to blend in for a little bit. So instead of putting you in a situation that's gonna make you angry and piss you off, he may have you eat that sausage. He may have you eat that hot dog or that hamburger. I don't know what may knock you down a few notches, but yet, gotta do whatever God got to do to get you into wherever places. I again, we don't. I don't control this shit. It just be happening. You know what I'm saying? So a new body, it's always like that. It's always like that. You are always going to be. Let me tell you something. Oh, man. I'm gonna be real. The more I heal, the more my mama don't like me. Shit, here we go. It's the truth. The more I heal, and it's gonna be like that, bro. It's gonna be like that. It's anybody for that matter who don't want to heal. Anybody who does not want to heal, right? Anybody who doesn't want to heal, anybody who doesn't want to heal is going to come for you. Because what you are reflecting back to them is, we once look alike, but we don't look alike anymore. So what's causing you to not look like me? And what's causing me to not look like you? And if I'm still standing in the same place and we was playing Little Sally Walker and slide, slide, slide to the left, to the up, down, left, right, but yet I haven't moved, but yet you're there, and we're still trying to marquee that, and it's not working, then that means you're moving. So now I'm going to look and see why you're moving away from me. Okay, so she healing. He getting his life together. So, okay, when I bring up the same situation to you last year that caused you to go into a gossip rage with me about who shot John, where they buried him, how they killed him. When I bring up that same stuff and it doesn't excite you anymore, it doesn't grab you anymore, then I'm really seeing that there is some things on your life that's not matching up with me no more. And now I'm gonna start, because I'm low. Remember, now I'm low vibrational, so now I'm gonna start to feel like you think you better than me. No, you think I'm better than you. Now remember, we used to match up. We don't match up no more. So now that I'm bringing this low vibrational shit and you ain't giving me no time of day, I'ma feel like you tossing me to the side because we don't speak the same language no more. You stop speaking Spanish, and now you start speaking French, and I don't understand that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's how people are gonna treat you, and because the more you heal, you are going to reflect back to them how damaged they are, because of the fact that you used to speak the same language and you don't no more. They're gonna see your face get brighter. They're gonna see you talk a little different. Your posture is, you don't hold your posture down like you used to. You stand up straight now. You spend a little bit more time by yourself. They see you dancing alone a lot. They don't see you going out like you used to. They don't see you chopping down hoes and dudes like you used to. We ain't talking the same language because we ain't the same no more. And so several people who don't want to change will either do this. Either they will turn against you, they'll ghost you and leave you alone, because Your reflection is too painful for them. They know they have to heal. Or they'll set you up. The latter of the three is the most dangerous because those are the ones who will hide their true feelings. They will act like they will evolve with you. They act like they're interested in evolving. They will get to know your new, ins and outs, and they'll be studying you all to sabotage you. Sometimes this will turn into a jealousy, which will turn into a hatred, which will turn into a rage, and then it'll turn to red rum. This is why you have to be careful, right? You have to be careful. And depending on who you are and who that person is, you just may be led to ghost everybody. Like me. I had to ghost everybody. Right? I had to. There was no way that I could have held on to the same people who were trying to put me in harm's way. I had to go. It is what it is. You know, and you're better off. It ain't gonna lie, it gets lonely, y'all. If you think you're lonely now, yeah, wait until tonight. Oh my gosh, I just want to sing something. Yeah, it gets lonely, but um, I'd rather be by myself, knowing I can trust myself, than to be around a bunch of folks I can't trust. I did that. That does not work for me. And because I have done a lot of healing work, I'm more machete ready than I was before. Because I was a pushover. I was a runover. You know, I was a I was a doormat. People could treat me like shit, and I was always forgiving and loving and kind, and not no more. I am machete ready, motherfucker. Bring that ass over here with some ill intentions. You won't even know you cut. That's how quick I'ma move. I'm not fucking playing. I love cutting motherfuckers up now. I'm trying to find a healthy balance in between cutting people up and chilling. And with time that'll come, because again, when you're adjusted. When you're adjusted, and I screen people different now. I used to look at people like they were a reflection of me. That's not necessarily true. When you are an empath, when you are a healer, when you are a sage, when you are a seer, when you're a mystic, and you really are walking with love, it is not your fault that you attract all kinds of people. Stop telling folks that you attract what you are. That's not true. When you are above the grade and you are a healer, you are sent to different people in different spans of life. And just because somebody is attracted to you, honey, does not necessarily mean you a fucking moth. I'm not no damn moth. But yet I do attract them because they like my light. That's not my fault. It is my job to stay sensitive spiritually to be able to discern the difference between the two. And it's not even necessarily if somebody's a moth. It's to know if somebody's an ally or an enemy, a friend or a foe. Just because they a moth don't always necessarily mean they come to eat your clothes. You understand? Certain things will hold certain weight in your life for that particular time. I'm not going to just cut somebody off. I done met more goons than a little bit lately. Lately, it's been a little goonish around this motherfucker. And I ain't got no bounce with that, man. I ain't got no bounce with that. I'm playing everything by spiritual ear. Because I know balance in this life is necessary. My only sin, let me just tell y'all this. I don't believe in sin. My sin that I do believe, the sin that I do believe in, which is one sin. Every sin that you can think of will stem from this one tree. Okay? You know how they said the tree of good and evil and then the tree of life, right? So you have an immortal tree. Then you have the tree of good and evil. Well, there's this tree that's called sin. And the only fruit that that tree bears, it is called the abuse of power. That's the only sin. When you look at it, the sin of what you call infidelity, that's an abuse of power. Somebody has given you their heart to the degree that you feel like you can do whatever the fuck you want with it. So now you feel like you can go and do whatever you want, step on this person's heart and treat them like shit. That's an abuse of power. Physically abusing a child, a dog, a cat, a woman, a man, a goat, a pig, that is an abuse of power. That is a misuse of power. Stealing. I heard, Boy, something is around me heavy. Stealing and thieving and shit. That is a misuse and abuse of power. Oh, Lord. That's an abuse of power. Right? So you got a lot, you have a lot of things in this world. Thou shalt not kill. That's an abuse of power. Somebody believes that they got that much power that they could take a life and not have to suffer for it. That's a you've been listen, all of us has been given a set amount of power. Whether you grow it or keep it the same is on you. But when you begin to step outside of that power as a means to create tyranny, rage, anything that does not mirror back love from God, love from the universe, it is an abuse of power. That's the only sin. That's the only sin you will ever find yourself having. Everything boils down, every sin you can think of boils down to, the abuse of power. Those who do not abuse power are not in sin. I just we make I think we make things complicated because this is how things were taught to us. But if we just begin to simplify everything around us that we see and put it in very few categories as much as possible, life will get easier to look at. Life will get easier to sift through. Life will get easier to voyage through. Because this honestly is a voyage. It's a journey, right? And whether you are on foot, whether you are on a ship, whether you are on a plane, however you journeying through this, however you're voyaging through it, we're all getting from one point to another. Okay? My destination may not be yours. My destination may be the same as yours. We may get there different. 2 plus 2 is 4. 1 plus 3 is 4. It does not matter what mechanism you do. We could 4 goes into 16 how many times? 4. That's division. And you could do a lot of different, mathematical equations and get the same outcome. It doesn't matter how you do it. It's just getting the answer is what I think we're all trying to. The end goal is to get the answer. And there's so many scholars, there's so many people just yapping they fucking gums. And some people speak the language of the common folk. Some people speak the language of professors. They use, big words and a lot of other people can't understand, and vice versa. You got some people who their attention span is short because you're not using big words. It shouldn't matter. To get the point across is to get the point across. You know, to get the point across is to get the point across. Bro, what the fuck? So I'm hoping and praying. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me. She called me Mama Machete. That's another nickname of mine. Thank you. Stay machete ready, baby. Hashtag machete ready. That's me. So I don't. I'm sorry, y'all. I do be listening to jazz. I'm a jazz head. So anyway, well, I think it's time for me to get up off of here. Everybody who doesn't celebrate this holiday, and for those of you who don't have family together around who would like to celebrate, my heart goes out to you. I stand with you. I understand, y'all. I just what bothers me around this time of year is that we wait till this time of the year to gather. I don't really like that. I used to be against holidays. I'm not anymore. I feel like, you do what you feel best to show and shower love to the people that you love the most. And if people are wrapped up in holidays more than you are, but you know that this is the way that you can come together with family and actually share real love, do what you need to do. Don't let nobody make you feel bad. We all come from different walks of life, and there's nothing wrong with gathering hands and showing love. At the end of the day, that's what this is all about. This thing is all about love. You know what I'm saying? It's all about love. But for those of you who who would have wanted to have gathered, damn, he going off on this trumpet. I ain't mad. I used to. I can't no more. Anyway, um, keep your head up, man. Don't give up. This will soon pass, and who knows? Maybe by this time next year, you'll be gathered around your real spiritual family, your real soul family. Because being kin by blood don't make people family, no way. Your soul tribe and your spirit family is your real family. That supersedes blood. That crosses all space, all time. And so I think y'all gonna be all right. Y'all gonna be all right. Shit, I'm about to go home. Probably do some reading. Should probably watch a couple movies. Be lazy. I don't know. Oh, I got a client though. So, well, I love y'all. Call it in, VK. You gotta come creeping in my life, huh, Billy? Lady Day. All right. Y'all have the good. Enjoy the rest of y'all day. Have a good day. All right. I gotta go.